We've been hearing all morning about this story of a serving Irish soldier, Cathal Crotty, from Parkroe Heights in Ardnacrusha in County Clare. He beat a woman unconscious, that's Natasha O'Brien, in a random street attack in Limerick on O'Connell Street in May 2022. He went on to boast about it afterwards on social media, and he walked free from a court after getting a fully suspended sentence just yesterday.
I just remember walking out of that courtroom and I had so many emotions pumping through my body. I was just completely horrified, appalled. I couldn't believe the reason for the sentence that was given by Judge O'Donnell. It was truly, I feel it was quite ignorant to be telling a victim who actually took a stand, faced her attacker for the first time, that you are so lucky he took the guilty plea. That is paraphrasing, but that is exactly what was being said, that it was so important that this young promising male did not lose his career in the Irish Defence Forces. When in my victim impact statement, I had expressed very, very clearly that my mental health declined. I went on such a downward spiral mentally that I could not complete basic tasks, let alone show up to work, I loved my job. It was amazing. And I ended up having to leave that job. Like, I walked out of that courthouse and I felt so ignored, so defeated. But the most heartbreaking part is that I wasn't actually surprised. I hadn't heard anything in regards to my case going forward or anything in over a year, and I had assumed maybe it was thrown out by the DPP for some reason or other, because this happens all the time. So when I got the call that there was actually a sentencing, I was absolutely, utterly shocked, and I was like, wow, this is the best I could even have expected. But at the same time, especially a headline of 2 weeks ago of another young promising Limerick man who viciously attacked another young defenceless male, he walked free too. An appeal would only be possible if there were extremely lenient circumstances in the sentencing. Unfortunately, this sentence is not extremely lenient in the court of law, in the Department of Justice. This is actually a very average sentence when you look at all the other cases in the Department of Justice, and that's the problem. However, I do believe that because there has been an utter public devastation and utter lack of faith in the Department of Justice, that this now wipes the grounds for an appeal.
How do we encourage people to come forward when this is the message that we send out? And you can be sure this sends out a message. It sends it loud and it sends it clear. But it's the wrong message that we're sending out, and particularly in the face of the Justice Minister Helen McEntee on the 1st of April launched the implementation plan for zero tolerance strategy. This is the third one on domestic, sexual and gender-based violence. I have a copy of it here. We heard from the organisation only on Tuesday of this week, Women's Aid. A lot of discussion about this on Tuesday. They had recorded the highest level of disclosures of domestic abuse in their 50-year history. There were 40,000 disclosures in the last year. It's up 18%. They've been talking about this since Tuesday. And here we are talking about this incident and this case and this sentence hearing that happened for Natasha O'Brien just yesterday.